Jake and Connor in the morning. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and probably mostly gentlemen, and that's okay. That's the way we like it. Welcome to Jake and Connor's BS Corner, and we just got a little mini BS we're going to slide your way. So first things first, hello, Connor.
Hello, Jake.
How you doing, man? I miss you always.
I miss you always.
I know, it's me living in Oregon.
You're in a different state, and we don't like it.
You told me to drive down for the day, but that's a 14-hour drive, my friend.
It'd be worth it just for a few hours of seeing your face.
Oh, well, that's nice. Well, this is a mini BS, so these are going to be really tight episodes, so we're going to jump right in.
Really tight.
With what we've been playing.
Yeah. So why don't you take us away, Jake? You lead the charge.
Great. I've only been playing one game recently, Dragon Quest Builders. If you want a more in-depth talk on it, just listen to Dave and Eric. They've really dived into it a little bit more than I have. But it's the first time I've played it's a sandbox action role-playing game. It's the first time I've played one of those sandbox games. I know there's Minecraft, which is the biggest one, and Terraria and some of the other ones. Connor, have you ever played any of the sandboxy games?
I've played sandboxy games. I've never really done a builder. For me, when I build something, I can never really create it as good as it looks in my mind, and then I just get frustrated. Like if I have like arts and crafts, I'm always mad. So I think that's kind of why I've steered clear of that genre. But I've seen what people do in Minecraft, and I'm sure what you're building is insane in the membrane.
No, that is false, actually. No, I like watching YouTube. You can watch all these people, these crazy things they've built, and that's awesome. But I never played Minecraft because I didn't want to play a game unless it has a story to it, which is why. And I know there's a story mode for Minecraft now, but that's one of the reasons I picked up Dragon Quest Builders, because it has like this overarching story that you play and you build.
Best of both worlds.
For two reasons. One, I never wanted to play it without a story because I think if I put in like 100 hours and then never play it again and no one sees what I built, I think it would just be a little depressing for me, which is why I can't. Just pure sandbox games are not for me.
Yeah.
But when it's got like a storyline, that's enough to kind of pull me in. And this was my first dip into Dragon Quest games ever. Have you ever played any of the Dragon Quest games?
Honestly, I must admit my ignorance, and also admit that this is the first time I've ever even heard of the title. So I'm sure listeners who have a more sophisticated palate than my AAA digest will be completely appalled by my lack of knowledge on this subject.
No, Dragon Quest is I think the Dragon Quest like 11 or 12 or 13. I don't know, guys. Go to Eric for this. Go to Donna.
Wow. 13 titles?
Yeah, the newest one's going to be coming out for the Switch, the actual main. This is kind of like this is Dragon Quest Builders. But it's the same artist, I believe, Akira Toriyama. Composers, if I remember, it's like Koichi Sugiyama.
Wow, look at you. I'm impressed by not only your knowledge, but your pronunciation of foreign names.
Oh yeah, definitely got it down. Well, I hear Brian and Eric talk about it all the time. So one time during the podcast, I'm like writing down what they're saying. I was like, I got to remember this.
It's almost like a group perk that activates when you're near them. You can pronounce foreign names better, like a skill set.
Yeah. Well, I listen to the podcast to those guys as one of my main sources for video game like news.
I listen to them for a main source of all news. Political, geopolitical, financial news, everything. And just a little teaser, we'll have some financial news later. But now that I've been playing some stuff too, if I may.
Please. Yeah.
So
that's all I've been playing really. So nothing else for me right now. So I'm done.
You're done. That's it. We're cutting it off. I have been playing. First of all, I played Far Cry 5 from start to finish. It was absolutely fantastic, and I must say, as a Christian, having seen the marketing and stuff like that, I was a little skeptical. But the underlying pseudo-Christian cult roots only made things even more satisfying. The gunplay, the gameplay, the story, the characters, everything was fantastic. And I may be a little spoiled because this was my first Far Cry title. Because a lot of the criticisms that I've seen of the series so far is that, hey, it's repetitive. You know, it's a little Ubisoft where you're doing the same 6 things for, 35 hours and then you get a chunk of story as you go. But this was really diversified and the gameplay was a lot of fun. And the ending, oh my gosh, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. Actually, I will at the very end of the podcast. So you never know when you're going to want to hit that pause button because I'll just ruin it. But it was absolutely fantastic. And then right now, I think I'm probably about 2/3 of the way through God of War. I'm trying to stop and smell the flowers and do all the collectibles and all the side missions and stuff like that. But what a gorgeous game. This is a huge milestone for the industry as an art form. Santa Monica Studios just did such an incredible job. And it's all one cut. And it's like they threw down the gauntlet on what a studio can do and said, hey, here's where the bar is now. So everybody try and catch up. And it has just been absolutely amazing.
Have you played all of the series, or is this your first?
When I was on the hype train for this title, I was like, oh well, I don't want to be one of those people who like get on for the last title. So I cruised over to my local game retailer and picked up a shiny disc of the remake that they did for PlayStation 4 of God of War 3, and I think it was a PS3 title originally, and it was just a little too old for me. The graphics looked good, but the gameplay, I just couldn't do it. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stick it out and wait for the new title. So short answer, yes.
Okay, short answer, yes, but yes to what?
Yes, this is my first God of War title. Wow.
Okay, got it.
Why use 6 words when 150 will do? Right?
Right.
Exactly.
So you said, hold on, you also, I got to say, you said a milestone for the industry. Can you back that up a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see games that, are in the public eye in a big way right now, like PUBG, Fortnite, these free-to-play titles that are actually putting quite a squeeze on some of the bigger AAA studios, developers, publishers, and they're coming in purely on novelty and fun mechanics with a very minimal influence put on, art direction, graphical design, character development, all these things that differentiate almost like a handheld game versus watching Lord of the Rings. And this game, what it did is it said, hey, we're going to go the complete opposite of all those kind of very shallow games and just create depth in every area possible. So depth in combat, depth in story, depth in characters, depth in visuals, depth in gameplay, depth in gameplay, depth in gameplay, depth in gameplay. It is amazing. Plus, I mean, he's jacked, and who doesn't like playing as a huge jacked guy?
Yeah, it really lets us, what's the suspension of disbelief. When I play as a huge jacked man, I picture myself as that jacked guy.
Hold on. Did you say as you play as Hugh Jackman or huge jacked man?
No, I put on my Hugh Jackman suit.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
And I play as Hugh Jackman.
Okay, so
from The Greatest Showman.
Not even Wolverine. You had to do Greatest Showman.
Wolver what?
Wolver what? Logan who? Logan who? All right. So moving on, is there anything on the radar coming up, if you will? Boop, 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 boop,
well, there's a few things on the radar, but like the remake of the new Donkey Kong is on my radar, although I don't know if I'm going to pick it up, or if I do, it'll probably be a little later when I can get it cheaper.
I'll just buy it for you, Jake, so you can play it up to your heart's content, and we can talk about it.
It's a lot of talk. But
I'll just send you an Amazon gift card online. That's a thing now. It's crazy.
All right, do it.
All right, challenge accepted.
But I was talking with Davey Boy, and he's a huge Donkey Kong fan, and he loved the Tropical Freeze, and he said it was one of his top 5. And,
wow.
I looked it up, and
yeah, it's very well received.
Yeah, so that's on my radar. But again, that's not really a new game.
Okay. But
So
still, it's coming to Switch. It's coming to a console you have that you can play on the go. I'm sure it's going to get a graphics update as they import it into the new system. So I'm sure that'll just be a great thing. Is there anything else you're looking forward to?
two more, which is the Mario Aces Tennis, which is the new Mario Tennis game.
Excellent.
I have no new update on it. I haven't looked into it very much, but it's the new Mario Tennis, and I don't know if you knew this. It's going to have a story mode, like the Game Boy Advance ones, which was my favorite part of the Mario Golf and Mario Tennis for Game Boy, which was the story mode, which is kind of you go around to the clubs and you play the club masters, and it adds that kind of element to it.
Excellent. Excellent. A
I
little
know.
bit of chase in there too.
So yeah, so that's really cool. I'm excited. It's too early. I don't know if it'll be good, but I'm excited and hopeful for that. And then, of course, Dark Souls for Switch.
Oh my goodness, just got delayed. Well, not just, but recently
Yeah.
delayed.
Yeah, a month ago it got delayed to summer, and they don't even have a they just says summer. It doesn't have a date yet. So
Yeah. I'm always happy when developers have the cojones to push a delivery out a little bit further, because you know that they're going to get their IPO, their stock's going to get hit, their clients are going to be angry for a little bit, but long term, it means a better game. And
right, especially if it's just a couple months.
exactly.
So-
That, or they just heard you were excited about it and they were like, how can we punish Jake?
Oh, Reggie, he knows. Reggie.
Damn
That
you,
guy has
Reggie.
he's been avoiding me like the plague, which I don't know if that makes sense, but we got to get him back on the show. So, he's kind of busy.
Why is he so busy? What's he doing?
I don't know. He's stopped. He was on our show all the time in the beginning, but I don't know. Maybe Switch kind of got popular and he's just like bailed.
That's
He's just
it.
like one of those friends that just bails.
So a really good friend is what you're saying.
No, I mean a bad friend that bails. So-
I just wanted to give you another opportunity to say it. So some things I'm looking forward to, because we don't want to keep grilling this guy. I am
Reggie.
I am looking forward to the new Detroit title, Detroit Becoming Human, or Become Human, I believe. It looks absolutely fantastic, and I played a couple of the remakes on my Xbox, and now that I got the PS4 Pro, I'm really looking forward to playing it in 4K. And the
4K.
that 4K baby.
Oh, so delicious.
4K, yes.
Oh, it looks delicious.
Oh wait, was it you who was playing Fractured Butthole?
No, not me. Probably Eric or Dave.
We should get
Or-
a symposium on thoughts of Fractured Butthole.
You got to join Brian and Eric on that one.
Oh man,
So
I hear nothing but good things, and I love me some South Park. Love me some South Park. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Detroit Becoming Human, and then I am very, 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 very skeptically allowing myself to be slightly excited for the newest Destiny DLC. I have had a severe love-hate relationship with that franchise, as have billions of other people, to say the least. Everybody kind of, it's ridiculous. I'll go on Instagram and I'll go on like Bungie's Instagram, and they'll post like a new weapon, and and then you go to comments and you think it's going to be like people being like, "Oh, cool weapon," or people who don't like the weapon being like, "Oh, that's a lame weapon," but it's literally like, "Hey, everybody at Bungie, just kill yourselves." And then it's like so toxic and it's so terrible that I was like, I just have to unfollow Bungie now, because the comments just hurt my soul. But
well, I think that's just what Twitter is. Twitter's just super toxic.
Anything connected to the internet aside from this podcast and maybe Happy Feet 3 is going to be a little bit toxic. But that community,
Happy Feet 3? What?
yeah, Happy Feet 3.
Is that coming out?
Yeah, it's a MMO RPG. It's amazing.
Is that on your radar? Is Happy Feet 3?
That is my radar. That is my radar.
Isn't that Elijah Wood? He's one of the voices.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think he's. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I think he's one of the voices. So.
Well, we'll call in the fact-checking squad on that one.
Okay.
Call in the D Trump fact-checking squad. So yes, so I'm a little scared, but I'm hopeful, and I had a conundrum whether, because I have everything, my character, everything on my Xbox, and I've been playing on PlayStation 4 now, and I don't have the game for PlayStation 4. And if I were to even buy it for PlayStation 4 to play in 4K, I wouldn't be able to bring my character.
Oh, delicious.
4K. So it's I don't know. So
do you have an Xbox One X?
I almost bought one a day and a half ago for this very thing, and then I picked up Destiny on my old Xbox and I was playing it, and I'm like, I remember how much I hate Destiny 2, and then I didn't buy that, and then I didn't buy the Xbox One X, and I was like, oh well, if I'm gonna hate something, I'm gonna hate it in 1080, not $550 later and be sour.
Yeah.
So speaking of being sour, and this isn't a transition to any type of candy or any type of grape joke or anything like that, but it is time for Mini Stock Corner.
Mini Stock Corner. Screw you, Dave.
What's up, Dave? I'm Connor. I'm here to do your job better than you. Deal with it. So there are 3 companies I want to briefly talk about in the Mini Stock Corner time. First of them is Activision Blizzard. Let me tell you guys, I picked this bad boy up maybe 3.5 months ago, right at when the market was hitting the very top of right before the big old correction, and I picked it up at like $69 a share, and it's just kind of been bouncing around. But earnings are coming out May 8th for the last quarter. The stock's down right now because everybody's scared that Fortnite is going to take a big chunk of the business. PUBG, these free-to-play games, are going to take a big chunk of Activision's business, and if they report bad earnings, I am going to be a sour cowboy because I kind of bought at the top and did something silly. But on the other hand, if by chance earnings are fantastic, then who knows, we might see a $15 jump even, just like Apple did earlier this week, which was fantastic for those who were there for it. Also, EA is set to report earnings this week, so we'll see how that hits the stock. And recently, Apple talked about venturing into the video game market, and that kind of brings up a bigger thing with Activision, EA, these big publishers. People think of these things as video game manufacturers, right? They create the game, they create the hard content, the soft content, and then people buy it. Much like Apple creates hard content and soft content, right? But the way Apple's revenue has stayed so strong is out of services as well. I mean, iTunes, iBooks, all these different things, all the maintenance, all the small microtransactional purchases that happen
iTunes
through Apple, iTunes. You know what I mean? iTunes, baby. So a lot of these companies that may see a dip in this last quarter's earnings may shift towards a services route on the games they already have with DLC, just like Activision's doing. I think they did 2 DLCs in the last 6 months for Call of Duty World War II. With some maps, some new zombie modes, etc. So we'll see. That'll be interesting if they'll follow Apple's example and kind of go down the service route. Jake, do you have any thoughts on all the information that I clearly presented way better than Dave ever would be able to?
Just my normal thoughts, which is I never really liked the service aspect of the video game. That's never been my... I just want a game that's complete and finished, but that a lot of those AAAs aren't really doing that anymore, or at least they don't seem to be. So, but I'm still going to get that because indies are always going to be doing that.
That's true.
But it's kind of a frustrating. I've never liked that idea because it's like I've never liked the idea of not having a finished product. Mm-hmm. It's like, and that's always just kind of been a little. Put a sour taste in my mouth. So I mean, I don't think I have bought. I've never even bought like a DLC, like when Fallout 3 and all the different like Dead Money and all those come out.
Yeah.
I never bought it when they came out. I waited till all of them were out and I bought the package. I've never bought one as they come out ever for anything.
I bought the World War II, the first DLC map pack, and I had a great time. I'm not personally against DLC. I think it's a good thing because at least the publisher's getting money versus things like GameStop existing where you buy and sell used copies and then the publisher makes all this effort into creating an amazing game for people to buy and then GameStop's just floating the same copy 6 times.
And, well, I mean, they just got to go to all digital and then solve that problem.
That is. certainly what's happening right now, and GameStop stock is certainly suffering for it.
Yeah.
So that kind of wraps up Mini Stock Corner.
Mini Stock Corner, Dave sucks.
Better than Dave. All right, so you had a bonus treat for us. Everybody, put on your berets, grab your monocles, get your bow ties and walking canes out of the closet, because Jake's got some for us. Jake, what do you have for us?
Well, we've talked about this, how we want, we want the BS corner to be more than just where bros come to the bro station and get their news. We want to add. So
what are we going to give them?
Well, I think we were just gonna. I've been listening to some Coolio recently, and I figured, you know what? Let's dive into one of his songs and kind of spread the culture. This is a crazy time right now. We have Kanye with his dragon energy, so I figured, you know what? Let's do it. So right now I've been listening to a lot of Gangsta's Paradise.
Excellent.
And I thought I'd just kind of read you some of the lyrics and get your 2 cents on it.
All right. Well, let me slap my forearm here, because I'm about to shoot up with some culture. Hit me, Jake.
All right. Gangsta's Paradise by one Coolio. So I was reading the lyrics, and it was like, as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, Bible reference, I take a look at my life, and I realize there's nothing left. Because I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, that's unheard of. You better watch how you talkin' and where you walkin', or you and your homies might be lined in chalk. I really hate to trip, but I gotta lock. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G that little homies want to be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the streetlight. Your thoughts?
First of all, let me just say, wow, that Bob Dylan and Ernest Hemingway and Walt Whitman, all these inferior writers to, who's this? C. Ulio? Coolio, is it pronounced?
C. Ulio.
C. Ulio. I'm speechless. It is literally a work of art. But getting real, there was parts I liked, there was parts I didn't like. I like the chalk outlining thing. When you read that, I saw people who stood up to him and his homies outlined in chalk. I saw it in my mind's eye. So
yeah.
You passed the mind's eye test a little bit.
Right.
I think the real question is, now that you've read it, can you rap it?
No.
Oh, that's a short no.
Yeah, no, short no. But I did listen to it like 10 times in a row yesterday. And I was like, it's a good song. I remember it when I was younger. And I was actually thinking, you know what? Dumb thought. I won't go with it. But
now you have to say it. You have to say it.
No, I was just thinking because I wonder, because music in the 90s versus like now, it's like with all the rappers and stuff on Instagram to like comment on their songs. It's just interesting. It really just kind of got me thinking about like the different time. But
it got you thinking about culture.
But folks, this is offering you nothing. So
all right, well let's tie in some culture to video games real quick with a spot.
Oh, okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is not rehearsed. This is not outlined. This is impromptu stuff. Jake, name the most cultured video game title you have ever played and explain why.
Oh, pass. You go first.
What? No, you can't just pass.
You go first. Pass.
I'm going to go with my first quick answer is Mario Odyssey because he has a top hat. So there. My long answer for a cultured video game. God of War.
Why? Why?
Because very few games have so accurately demonstrated a very human relationship, very real human relationship, and had it very believably grow and change throughout the dynamic and course of the game, and have it not be gameplay based, purely on the dialogue, the writing, and the intonation of the characters. Another one that did it great was, obviously Joel and Ellie. So there's another great relationship in a video game. So what about you? Bouncing and bang-ranging it back to your bazonga. What's your cultured video game?
Probably Gangster's Paradise by Coolio. No,
Okay.
oh, geez. You know what?
It's
I have to
okay.
think on.
If you
I don't
can't
have a
think of
quick
it.
answer. I don't have a quick answer.
Dave, are you seeing this? Sorry.
Dave?
I'm going to bring Dave in on this. Jake.
Who? Dave Sutton? Dave?
Oh, yeah. All right. Anyway, some quality grade A radio happening right here. So we're going to move it on. Jake, do you have any final comments other than your absolute failure to think of a bougie cultured video game title?
Nope, that's all I got today. Keep reading, folks. Go to the library. It's always been my message. It's always going to be what I'm about. Libraries and books on this video game podcast.
I think you can check out copies of Coolio's lyrics at the library now. It's in the fine art section.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
All right, well, Jake, do you want to say our goodbyes to our beautiful, beautiful, extremely beautiful listeners?
Yeah, peace out.
Peace out.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying in chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta low. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. They've been spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in the gangster's paradise.
That to us people that can feel things, it hurts.